Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so today I want to talk about intentionally creating situations that show your nervous system that you are safe to be seen and you are safe to be yourself. So important, right? So I've talked a lot about this fear of being seen, of putting yourself out there, of being vulnerable and really showing people who you actually are and being yourself, really. Okay? So what I want to talk about today is taking that a little step further and actually intentionally putting yourself in situations that show yourself that it's actually okay to be safe and to be seen. Not to be safe, but to be seen, that it's safe to be seen. And training your nervous system to handle this little by little. Okay, so here's what I mean by this. So last week, I had the honor and privilege of leading a big Soma Breath session for Soma Breath Soma Sundays that they do every Sunday live on their Facebook page, and there's always about 100, 200 people that show up. I'm honestly not sure how many people showed up last Sunday for the session I led, but either way, there's a lot of people. And for someone who doesn't feel safe being seen, or has some past experiences that made them feel unsafe for being seen, or just have fear around that, and that's something that I dealt with in my life. For me, that was a huge milestone. That was a huge step for me to take, especially in retraining my nervous system. So it finally happened. But a year ago is when I first had the opportunity to actually jump on and, submit an application and try to actually get approved or whatever you want to call it to do one of these sessions, okay? So going back a year, I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to do it. I'm super excited about it. This is a great opportunity. And then I went to actually take the time to submit, the form and fill out the application to do it so that I can get approved to do it and get, an opportunity, a great opportunity. And what happened is that I procrastinated, and eventually the deadline hit and I didn't submit my application. And I was all bummed. I was very frustrated myself. I was pretty pissed off about the fact that this was something that I felt like I really wanted, and I just procrastinated on it to the point where I lost the opportunity. All right? And I was really bummed out about it. But what I realized, and I talked about this a little bit, is what I wasn't really acknowledging within myself is that a part of me was really, really, really afraid to do it and put myself out there and have that many people see me in that light, really. So how this kind of relates, how I'm going to tie this into what we're talking about is, and I have to be honest. So this part of the story is that when I first started, getting on even social media, especially doing these live videos, it scared the shit out of me. And sometimes it still does. Sometimes I know I'm going to do a video and I'm excited about it, and the time comes and I get super anxious, okay? Because I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting myself out there to be seen. I'm putting myself out there talking about stuff that sometimes is really personal, and it's live. Like, I can mess up, make mistakes, not say the right thing, just have this attitude of it has to be perfect. So what happens was, for me, I wanted to start doing this, as I started my business and growing my business. I wanted to hopefully provide some insights and value to people, sharing the things about, what are important to me and the work that I do. And hopefully, people would get a lot out of this, and I'd make some new connections with people, right? Well, you know what? It turns out that it's really not even about that. I mean, it is still. It totally is. But on the other side of it, what it's been for me is a way that is putting myself into situations that confirm to me, that show my nervous system and my body that it's okay, that it's safe to be seen, it's safe to be myself, it's safe to put myself out there and really go for the things that I want to go for, because most of my life I avoided those things. Most of my life I avoided those things. I was too afraid. I was too afraid to put myself out there. I was too afraid to even really talk to people, right? Let alone go on a live video, or let alone go do a breathwork session with 100 people. So what the live videos did throughout this year was help prepare me for bigger and bigger things as I started putting myself out there and showing, not just telling myself, okay, I got this, doing positive affirmations. Yeah, that's helpful. But I had to actually show myself that, you know what? Not only do you got this, but it's actually perfectly safe. You don't have to be afraid anymore. And I nurtured those parts of myself along the way, knowing damn right, fully accepting the fact that, yeah, this does scare the shit out of me. Yeah, this does give me anxiety. Yeah, I have a ton of resistance towards this stuff. But the more and more I did it, the easier it got, the easier it gets. Still, to this day, the easier it gets, even though I've done tons of live videos, okay? And the easier it gets as I step into situations that confirm that it's okay for me to be seen, that it's safe for me to be seen. And that's what eventually led me to get to the point where I wasn't going to, self-sabotage or procrastinate to the point when a bigger opportunity comes up where I'm going to be seen by more people, that I actually was able to, in this circumstance, fill out the application, submit it on time, so that, I actually got the opportunity to do something like I did last weekend and lead one of those amazing breathwork sessions. So anyways, this is just an example of how we create situations that confirm that we are safe to be seen, safe to be ourselves, safe to be vulnerable, all those things. But you have to do it little by little. You try to stretch yourself too much, too quickly, and then you can almost, for lack of a better word, re-traumatize yourself, or create a situation that makes you feel really unsafe to do these things, so you pull yourself back even more and you take a bunch of steps backwards instead of moving forward, because it was just too much for you, it's too much for your nervous system, and now it's like, okay, you just confirmed that it's not safe, so let's not do that again. When in reality, there was actually nothing unsafe about it. It's just you stretched yourself too much. So you take little steps, you intentionally step into or create situations that are going to confirm your safety within yourself. And that looks different for everybody. And this is, right now I'm specifically talking to that feeling of not being safe to put yourself out there and to be seen by, larger amounts of people, and to really step into creating what it is you want to create that involves around being, more exposed or more vulnerable in these senses. But either way, you can use this to intentionally create opportunities or situations in your life that prove to you, that actually show your body and show your nervous system that these things that you want to do are actually safe and okay. And it helps you step into, you know, a greater alignment with who you actually are, because you're bringing in more parts of yourself that really want to be expressed, that really want to be maybe more at the forefront of your life rather than just being in the back all the time. Okay? Because that's really hard for certain parts of ourselves to always just feel like we're, you know, in the back, when sometimes those parts of ourselves are like, hey, I'm important too. I'm important enough to be at the forefront of what we're doing of our life. Okay? So again, an important thing to remember is start little, take little steps, little situations that confirm the safety or whatever it is around what you are trying to do, so that you can get to the bigger things that you're trying to do, so you're not stretching yourself too much. All right, guys, I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments or send me a message. Always available, okay? I love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.